You can get wrapped candies of every kind. Bubblegum,
illegal,
lollipops,
immoral,
fun-size candy
30%
bars.
syntax.
Get this Halloween record.
Oh, hey,
Sounds to
I
make
got
you
that
shiver,
album.
just $1.89.
Yes, I really do have that album. And here it is. Amazingly, for a record in my own collection, I still don't know a whole ton about this thing. I found listings on the internet of the Pickwick Records discography, and I've seen this record's release date listed as early as 1974 and as late as 1980. We can safely rule out anything after 1977. The Woolworth commercial that you saw a second ago dates to 1977. My personal guess is that it dates to either 1975 or 76. The commercial makes no mention of it being new, but 74 seems a little too far back. But then again... Now, if you look at the album cover, to me it looks like an old 70s TV bumper, we'll be right back sort of thing. There are a couple of little things, surprises really, that slip through the cracks. Here, you've got a werewolf with blood coming out of his mouth. Hope the poor darling isn't hemorrhaging or anything. But my personal favorite is way off to the side, real small. You've got an axe-wielding madman. As for the record itself, Pickwick dispensed with their usual boring logo and gave us this skull, which looks like the work of a madman in and of itself. And what about the album, you might ask, but probably didn't. Occasionally you approach some decent ambience, but for the most part it's more funny than scary. You've got the unintentionally orgasmic meeting between Dracula and an unfortunate, or maybe not so unfortunate victim. You've got the breaking window, which really sounds more like somebody dropping a cheap dinner plate. You've got a genuinely underwhelming sequence of Frankenstein supposedly breaking free from his table. You've got, I can't tell if this is supposed to be Dracula or a housekeeper or something, but there's this guy that seems to be shooting for a Transylvanian thing, but it comes off as a Transylvanian who's been in the States so long, he's mostly lost his accent.
So, you want to visit a haunted house, I think I have one that should suit you. That is, if you dare follow me. You will? Fine. Shall we go, then? Here we are at the door. Happy haunting.
But to me, arguably the best part of this album is the recurring motif of animal noises, by way of a couple of community theater types. The hooting owl is absolutely brilliant. If I had to guess, I'd say that this was a truly cheap, quick, and dirty production. I'd be willing to bet that the whole LP was knocked out in a day or two. I'm also wondering if the poor recording engineer had to voice Dracula himself. As with a lot of late-period drugstore records, and as you could probably tell from the clips, this was pressed on pathetically cheap vinyl. The sound distorts at the drop of a hat, and the sheer tonnage of rumble and click, coupled with the very cheesy material, adds up to an assault on the senses, just not in the way that the makers probably intended. This record reminds me of the Goldwater's LP that I discussed back on the conservative folk music episode. Largely unlistenable. But then again, if you're looking for records like this one, or the Goldwater's disc for that matter, I guess you should really know what you're getting into. Boy, the trick-or-treaters are starting early this year. Oh well. Hope you enjoyed today's little discussion, and we will be back to the regular archive format next time. And I really mean it this time. See ya. Bloody hell. Trick or treat! All right, what we got here? All right, there you go. One for you, and one for you. Okay. Is that everybody? Okay. Sorry.
I I hate this kind.